So here we are at the top of the new year. Can you believe it's 2026? I'm sure some of you are super excited to jump into the new year, shake things up, make shit happen. There's something we need to do before entering into this new season. If you're in a location where you can do so, I want you to place one hand on your heart, the other hand on your belly. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. I want it to go in through your nose and out through your mouth. Ready? If you couldn't do this with me, then make sure you do it later, okay? Sometimes we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, in the grind, honey, that we forget to get still and breathe. So today we're going to use our time together to do a mental health check-in. But you know what? We're going beyond just mental. We're doing a mental, physical, and spiritual health check-in. That's why the title of this episode is How Are You? In our daily lives, when people ask that question, we typically give like a generic response, right? You'll see a neighbor and they'll say, "How are you?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm fine," even if you're not really fine. We're often too busy to identify how we feel. Today, I posed the question, How are you? And I ask that you take a moment to truly consider how you're doing. Don't brush it off or go generic. I want you to go deep and identify how you're feeling at this moment. Welcome to the Gorgeous Guru podcast. I'm your host, Day, the Gorgeous Guru. If you're craving real talk, inspiration, and soulful guidance, you're in the right place. So tune in, get comfortable, and get ready to be inspired. Hey, y'all. Happy New Year and welcome in. Recently, my spirit guides got on my ass, and they do this from time to time. So I'm a channeler. I'm someone who receives messages about the past, present, future, and I get a lot of guidance and warnings as well. I got a message recently that was a wake-up call for me. I'm one of the Black women who was laid off at the start of 2025. And I'm not sure if you've heard, but according to the news, a record number of Black women lost their jobs at the start of the year because of the dismantling of diversity programs. So as soon as I lost that job, I went into my go-getter attitude and became hyper-focused on money, right? I'm like, okay, I have to figure out where I'm going to get money from, how to take care of myself. This hyper-focus on money started to take a toll on me physically. And what's interesting, y'all, is I'm so used to being in that energy of hustling and grinding and going after money that when it started to take a toll on me, I didn't even really pay attention. It was like I knew something was wrong, but I wouldn't stop long enough to really check in with myself. So my spirit team was over it. And one day during a channeling session, right, I'm channeling for myself, they told me that hyper focus on money was causing me to neglect myself. And I didn't like that word, neglect. Neglect is defined as failing to care for something properly. And I was just like, what? I'm not caring for myself properly? But the truth is, I wasn't. So, in addition to receiving this message about neglecting myself, there was this card that began to fall from one of my decks again and again. For those of you who don't know, I created a deck called the Odu Ifa Wisdom Oracle Deck, and it's for sale on my website, daydreamaustin.com. This deck is inspired by the sacred scripture of the Yoruba spiritual practice Ifa Orisha tradition. Y'all, this particular card kept falling out of this deck. Anytime I handled the deck, this card would come out, and the card said, "As important as money is, it is not as valuable as a human being." So imagine I get this message about me neglecting myself because I'm hyper focused on money. And then I have this card that keeps popping up that is reminding me that in spite of what I may believe or think, money is not as valuable as my being, as my humanity. In that moment, I knew I had to check myself. It was clear that my spirit team, my own highest mind and consciousness, was alerting me to the fact that I had allowed money to become more important than my health, right? My wellness. And it needed to stop. So the divine slowed me down and made me check in with myself. So today I ask, how are you? And I want you to truly consider this question because we don't often just stop and check in and say, I feel like I need this, or I feel like I need a break. I feel like I need rest. I feel like I need to go to the doctor. I feel sluggish. I don't feel my best. I need to do this. I need to know. We're always focused on what we need to do, and that takes away from us checking in with ourselves. So truly consider these questions. Have you been so focused on work, money, or your loved ones that you're neglecting yourself? Are you taking time out to care for yourself? Are you prioritizing your health and wellness? What are your self-care rituals? Do you have any? Are you eating healthy, moving your body, and getting checkups regularly? If you're in a high-stress experience or period, what are you doing to bring balance and wellness to your life? Do you have any hobbies or passions that boost your energy and make you happy? And if you do, are you pursuing them? Are you prioritizing them? The divine reminded me, and now I'm reminding you, your wellness matters. From very early on, we're taught to pursue things at all costs. Grind and hustle culture has become a societal norm. But just because something is common, it doesn't make it normal. It's not normal to grind perpetually, to be in this hustle mode continuously. This behavior is extremely toxic and taxing on the body, the mind, and the soul. It leads to chronic stress, and ultimately, chronic stress leads to disease and premature death. Y'all, it's time to embrace new norms, ones that support our peace, our wellness, our well-being, our emotional fulfillment, our happiness, our joy. And in my opinion, nothing else will do. Today's Gorgeous Guru prompts, which are questions for reflection or journaling, are: how are you? And I want you to truly dig deep for this answer. Fuck the generic responses that you would normally give. If you're journaling this, I want you to write down all that comes to mind, and then I want you to commit to taking actions that support your wellness. Even if they're little actions, think of things that you can incorporate into your daily life to support your wellness. If you're enjoying the podcast, become a monthly supporter of the show. All of your donations are a great help, like seriously, y'all, they are. You may sign up at thegorgeousgurupodcast.com. And if you're someone who's interested in receiving a channeled message from me, you can book personal tarot readings right on my website, daydreamalston.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. You could have spent this time doing anything, but you decided to spend it with me, and I gotta be honest, y'all, I am so grateful. I hope you'll join me next time.